Good afternoon, everyone. So I hope I'm audible and the screen is also properly visible to you all. Right? I think everything is fine and we can start the session. Just want a confirmation from your end that am I audible or not? So I think everything is fine, right? My voice is audible and the screen is also properly visible to all. Uh, yes. If anybody would like to confirm, you can write in your chat section. Okay, thank you so much, Aditya. Great. So we can start our class, right? So good afternoon once again. Students, I welcome you all to our ARD static series. And today we are going to cover lecture number 2 for the chapter Soil and Water Conservation. Yesterday we have covered lecture number 1, right? So this is going to be the last lecture for this particular chapter, and tomorrow the lecture that I am going to give you is will be in recorded form. I won't be able to come live, so कल recorded lecture आपको मिलेगा. This is going to be the last live class by me. So अगर आपके जितने भी doubts है you can ask today. ठीक है? So let's start, and before starting I would like to tell you about our 2-day demo course. If you are interested in purchasing our main course and you wanted to know what actually we provide in our main course, how content is covered, is that relevant for exam or not, you can just avail this 2-day demo course for 1 rupees, and for 2 days you can review all the content and then decide whether you want to purchase our main course or not, right? So once again, good afternoon everyone, and I'd like to tell you the timetable again so that you know the schedule. So we have already covered introduction to agriculture, agronomy, farming system, cropping system, seed sowing, soil and water conservation. Today we'll be covering second part of soil and water conservation, and tomorrow this class will be provided to you in a recorded form, right? Then after that, from 28th onward, you will be getting live classes by Diksha ma'am. So Diksha ma'am will be taking your topics like agriculture, engineering, animal husbandry, plantation, horticulture, crop, forestry, fisheries, ecology, economics, extension and rural development. Clear? Okay. Chalo. Ravi Kumar Kushwa. So I request you to please be in the session till end. Okay. So first I'll complete the class and then I'll take the query. So this is the format that I follow because everybody is in the class to learn right now, right? So आप last तक wait कीजिए. Last में I'll take your query definitely and we can discuss on that. Okay, so at the end I'll take your query, not right now because we have to first start our class. So students, we'll start with our question number 1. This question have been asked to you in your 2025 examination. So the question was, what is the correct sequential progression of water erosion intensity and surface damage from in the initial event to the moment to the most advanced stage? Sorry. ठीक है, तो आपको बताना है out of the given option which is the correct sequence of water erosion. If you know the answer, please let me know in the chat section. If you do not know answer, we'll be covering soil erosion topic in detail from the next slide onward, and then you can learn this particular topic, right? Okay, I can see right answers coming. Very good. Aman, Nikhil, very good. Anybody want to attempt? Very good. Aditya, ठीक है, ठीक है. So I can see these guys have given the right answer, and answer will be option D. Okay, so it is first splash erosion, then sheet erosion, then rill erosion, and then gully erosion. So if you do not know what are these type of erosion, what is splash erosion, sheet, rill and gully erosion, no need to worry. I'll give you the answer. Okay, I'll give you the explanation to all these things. So first topic that we are going to cover today is about erosion. Okay, what is erosion? Erosion is basically displacement of soil. Okay, so when the soil get removed or the superficial layer of soil get removed from one place to another, that is called soil erosion. So you might have seen when there is a time when we have heavy rain. Okay, so due to this heavy rain, some of the soil particle can get washed off from one place to another place. This process, this removal of soil particle from the soil surface is known as erosion, right? Okay, I hope it's clear. It is a process of removal of superficial layer of the soil from one place to another place. Now students, see, yesterday if you can recall, I have talked about different soil horizons, right? So what I mentioned there, that we have one horizon which is the topmost horizon, also known as O horizon. Okay, it is also known as O horizon, and this O horizon is very important for agriculture crop because it has organic matter in it. Not only the O horizon, A horizons have all the minerals. A horizons have all the minerals. So if this is the case where erosion is happening, so what will happen? Erosion will happen of this particular superficial layer. Okay, that is O or A horizon, right? So if we are losing continuously this important horizons or important layer of the soil, which is important for supporting, for providing nutrient to the crop plant, what we are doing, we are basically losing the fertile layer of the soil. So that's why erosion is a harmful what we can say process, right? It is not required in agriculture. We do not want our soil to get erode. ठीक है, अगर soil erosion काफी होगा, we will lose this fertile layer of the soil and we will have the unfertile, or we can say the less fertile soil we will have after the erosion. So it's always recommended that farmers should prevent this erosion on the field. Okay, farmers should do all the measures from which erosion can be prevented, and that also we are going to discuss in this particular lecture only. What are the measures to save soil? So that is what we are going to discuss after the erosion. But right now just understand erosion is what it is. Basically the removal of superficial layer of the soil from one place to another place. So with this erosion we are losing a lot of fertile soil, right? Now this erosion that happens, it happens with the help of some agents. Okay, it will happen either with the help of water, or it will be happening with the help of wind. So there will be some agent involved. Soil will in itself do not go from one place to another place, right? It requires some kind of force, it requires some kind of agent. So mostly the major two agents that we have in agriculture is water and wind. So when due to excess water erosion happens, that is known as water erosion. And when due to high wind velocity erosion happens, that is known as wind erosion. Now water erosion can be of different type. We have sheet erosion, rill erosion, gully erosion, slip erosion, stream bank erosion. These are the types of water erosion. Then on the other hand, we have different types of wind erosion, which include saltation, suspension, surface creep. Okay, so let's understand them one by one. What are the different types of wind erosion? What are they and how they occur, right? So if I talk about wind erosion, so students, first erosion that we have is a splash erosion. What is this splash erosion? So see, whenever any land is not covered with vegetation, okay, whenever we have a bare land which is not covered with any kind of vegetation, what will happen? Whenever the raindrop will hit the soil, it will detach some particle from the soil, right? So initially what happens, whenever the raindrop will hit the soil, okay, it will detach some particle from the soil. Okay, this erosion is known as splash erosion. So basically it happens when raindrop hit the soil surface. Okay, जब रेन ड्रॉप, क्योंकि जो रेन है दैट इज फॉलिंग विद अ ग्रेटर फोर्स, राइट? तो वो जब फोर्स से सॉइल के सरफेस पे हिट करेगी, then it will detach some soil particle from there, and these soil particle will be moved from one place to another place, right? So this is known as splash erosion. ठीक है, I hope it's clear what is splash erosion. Now students, this splash erosion, when it continue, okay, or we have excess of rainfall, it will lead to sheet erosion. Okay, it will lead to sheet erosion. What is sheet erosion? Basically, in this type of erosion, we are losing the entire sheet, entire upper layer of the soil, right? So in it's like a sheet, someone has removed the upper sheet of the soil, right? You can consider it as like upper, we have a upper layer, we have different layer, you can consider them as a sheet. So it's like a thin sheet has been removed from the upper surface of the soil, that is called as a sheet erosion. Okay, and students, this particular sheet erosion is very dangerous for agriculture, right? It's very dangerous for agriculture, because in agriculture here, if sheet erosion happens, we will lose fertile layer of the soil, we will lose the entire fertile layer of the soil, right? So, and this particular sheet erosion is also not noticeable. Okay, farmer notice this after the loss has been made, so it is quite unnoticed. Okay, you cannot you cannot find out the difference in the entire sheet ki okay अब पूरी हमारी जो field की surface है that has changed, इतना जल्दी ये नोटिस नहीं होता है, बहुत स्लोली नोटिस होता है, बहुत स्लो इरोजन है, बट अगर ये हो जाए देन we are losing the entire fertile layer of the soil, and it is not required in agriculture, right? So it is not good for agriculture, this sheet erosion. Next we have is the rill erosion. Now students, when you might have seen that if we have a bare land, right, and there is a heavy rainfall, so small these projection starts appearing, these finger like channels, you can say, they start appearing, right? So these small channels are formed, and rills, these channels are basically called rills, and such kind of erosion is known as rill erosion. Now in this case of erosion, what will happen, as this rills has been formed, so water will move fast and it will carry a lot of soil with it, right? Because water has got now a channel, fixed channel, so a lot of erosion can happen from here, and you can see the land has become uneven, right? But students, this rill erosion is still not that much dangerous. It's its advanced form, which is the gully erosion. Okay, when your entire land has been deteriorated and you cannot restore it again, that is the gully erosion. Because in case of rill erosion, if this is the situation, you can do the plowing, okay, and you can fix this problem. But here you can see whole gully has been made. Okay, this is the entire gully, and it cannot be easily fixed with normal plowing or normal tillage practices. So this process is known as this erosion is known as gully erosion. Okay, this is known as gully erosion. Now students, you have to learn these erosion in this format only, because that was the question asked to you in an examination. So first splash erosion happens, then it transforms to sheet erosion. Sheet erosion transforms to rill erosion, and rill erosion transforms to gully erosion. So basically gully erosion is the advanced version of rill erosion. And I think in 2024 you have been asked question from rill erosion, wherein you was asked ki in which type of erosion finger like projections are formed. So if finger like projection term is used in the question, then that is referring to rill erosion, then the answer will be rill erosion. Okay, so this also you have to learn for rill erosion. It's the finger like projections that are forming on the soil. Okay, it's the finger like projections that is forming in the field, that is again referring to the rill erosion. So ये 2024 का question है. Okay, and the question that we have seen previously was asked in 2025. So this is the order: splash, sheet, rill, and gully. Clear? So you can see everybody is advancing to next level, right? Every erosion is advancing to the next level. Okay, so I hope now wind erosion and its type are clear. Now there are two more type of not wind erosion, water erosion and its type are clear. There are two more that we need to cover, which is slip erosion. So slip erosion is basically, you can take the example of landslide. Okay, it happens usually in the mountainous region only, when your entire land gets shifted, right? So this type of erosion is known as slip erosion, due to the elevation when the soil gets shifted. Okay, that is the slip erosion. And then we have the stream bank erosion. Stream bank erosion happens near the banks of river, near the banks of any stream, because this water is continuously flowing. So it will carry some soil particle from the nearby area, right? And this particular type of erosion is known as stream bank erosion. Clear? I hope now it's clear what is water erosion and what are the different types of water erosion, right? For your examination, you have to learn all these. Now, next agent that we had was wind erosion, right? Again, in areas where there is less rainfall, right? Like in your desert condition, arid condition, right? There rainfall is not a problem because already these areas are suffering from the scarcity of rain. There the another problem arises, that is of wind erosion. Okay, because sometimes there can be high wind velocity that can transfer your soil particle from one place to another place, and that leads to wind erosion. Now this wind erosion is also of different types. But first type that we have is suspension. So what is this suspension type of wind erosion? In this case, all the light particle of soil, okay, very light particle which range from size less than 0.1 mm diameter, they are carried by the wind. Okay, they are carried by the wind. So what will happen when we will have the lighter soil particle with high wind velocity? These lighter soil particle will be suspended in air. They will not come down. Okay, they will remain suspended in air because they are very small, very light, and they will be carried away by the wind. Okay, so such type of wind erosion is known as suspension, where the soil particle remains suspended in the air, okay, along with the wind. They are taken from one place to another place. Here the size is important, that you have to remember, it is less than 0.1 mm diameter, right? So I hope it's clear what is suspension. I don't think there is any difficulty understanding this concept. Next, if there is any still, please let me know. Okay, please let me know अगर कोई problem है in understanding any topic, any concept that we are discussing. Okay, next type is the saltation. Next type is the saltation. What is the saltation? Saltation is basically, students, when the particle size is bigger. When the particle size is bigger than the particle size that we have seen in the suspension case, in that case, wind will not be able to hold this soil particle in the air, right? So what will happen? It will lift the soil particle, and soil particle will again bounce back, and then it will lift it again, right? So this type of process that happens, this type of erosion that happens through wind is known as saltation. So what will happen? Wind will pick this particle, okay, which is heavier, but it will remain suspended for some time in the air, and then it will hit back to the soil surface. Then again it will be picked by the wind, and then it will again hit back to the field, right? So this type of erosion when happens, it's called saltation, and the size of particle here range from 0.1 to 0.5 mm diameter. Clear? Now the next form that we have is surface creep. Okay, it's known as surface creep. What is surface creep? Again, particle of heavier size. ठीक है, अगर हमारे सस्पेंशन सॉल्टेशन से भी बड़े पार्टिकल हैं, how they are carried? So basically they are carried with this process which is known as surface creep, where you can see the particles are rolling. Particles are rolling on the surface, right? So they are not picked by the wind, rather they are pushed by the wind, and they start rolling on the soil surface, and then they are transferred from one place to another place. Clear? Clear? I hope it's clear now. Different types of wind and water erosion. Now with this understanding, let's solve questions. If still anybody have any doubt, please let me know. So the question is, consider the following statements regarding the mechanics and stages of soil erosion by water, right? So you have to tell me which statement is incorrect. Your options are: splash erosion is the initial stage where the physical impact of falling raindrop breaks soil aggregates and disperses particles in odd direction. Then sheet erosion involves the uniform removal of thin layer of soil and is relatively easy to detect in the early stages due to immediate channel formation. Then we have rill erosion, create channel deeper than 30 centimeter that cannot be smoothed out by the normal tillage. Gully erosion represent the advanced severe stage forming large channels deeper than 30 centimeter that render land unfit for cultivation. ठीक है. Now what will be the answer for this question? ठीक है. You have to tell me the incorrect statement. Incorrect statement बताना है. Please read all these statements carefully. I have already talked about all these things. Okay. So very good. I can see answers coming. Okay. So answer will be option B. Okay. Answer will be option B. Only statement 2 and statement 3 are incorrect, right? While statement 1 and statement 4 is correct. So statement 1 is correct because it's talking about splash erosion. It's saying that it is initial stage. We have seen it is a very initial stage of water erosion. Okay? Physical impact of falling raindrop breaks soil aggregates. That is also what I have told you, right? And it spread all these particles into different directions. Okay? So that is correct. Now let's come to the statement 2. What is incorrect in statement 2? So sheet erosion involve uniform removal of thin layer of soil. This is correct. But as it says, it is relatively easy to detect. No, it's not easy to detect. I have told you, it's very unnoticeable. Okay, it is not very easy to notice sheet erosion. So that is the incorrect thing about this particular statement. Okay, and due to immediate channel formation, again, it's not correct. Third statement says rill erosion create channels deeper than 30 centimeter that cannot be smoothened out by normal tillage or machinery. Again, the rill erosion, I have told you, rill erosion can be smoothened out by normal tillage, right? I have told you we can, recover our land by doing the normal tillage in case of rill erosion. But in case of gully erosion, it is advanced and severe stage, right? So after rill erosion, the very advanced form of erosion that we see was the gully erosion, okay? And it cannot be recovered easily, and it leaves your land unfit for the cultivation, and that is the correct statement. Okay, so आपका जो wrong statement है, that is statement 2 and statement 3, and I have explained you all the 4 statements. Clear? Now I hope there is no confusion in this particular question. Okay, let's move to the next question. Match the wind erosion mechanism listed in column 1 with its appropriate particle size and movement dynamic in column 2, right? So you have to tell me which is the correct match. Saltation, suspension, surface creep. We have discussed all these things. Please match the columns and give me the answer. ठीक है, I can see answers coming. Very good, very good. Answer is option D. ठीक है, very good. So it says saltation. So saltation के लिए we see particle size is 0.1 mm to 0.5 mm. Particle bounce and dislodge other particle upon impact. Then we have suspension. For suspension, particle size is less than 1 mm. So yes, Q is appropriately matched with 3. So that is the next thing in your option, right? So particle size is less than 1 mm. So 0.1 mm for the suspension, I have already told you. For surface creep, particle size is more than 0.5 to 0.2 mm. Clear? Yes, I hope this question is clear and there is no doubt about it, right? Chalo, next question for you. Which type of water erosion is characterized by formation of small channels less than 30 centimeter deep that can easily be smoothed out by normal blowing air or filled machinery? Okay. So I have already told you in 2024 question was asked to you, right? So instead of small channel, you can replace finger like projection, and the language was same. Now give me the answer, please. I think it's easy. We have already discussed it multiple times, right? Okay, very good. Very good. Answer will be option C, that is rill erosion. Option C will be the right answer. Very good. Sandeep, Nikhil, Vasu, Sachin and Seja, Aditya, Aman. Very good. ठीक है. So I have told you already how rail erosion is the answer to this question. Next question, which stage of water erosion is considered the first step where raindrop disintegrate soil aggregate and disperse individual particle? What will be the answer? Quickly give me the answer. Already we have discussed this. Okay. So what will be the answer? First stage of water erosion. It will be your splash erosion. Very good. Splash erosion, right? I have told you how splash erosion is the answer to this question, because in splash erosion, when raindrop hit the soil, it will disintegrate the soil aggregates, right? And it will disperse all this particle in different directions. Okay. Now coming to another question of 2024. Now this question was regarding which of the following is objective of mulching. Please tell me, can anybody tell me the answer here? And after this, we are going to start agronomic and engineering measures of soil conservation. Okay? So basically, we will be discussing about or reading about soil conservation measures. So yes, which of the following is objective of mulching? Mulching reduce soil and water erosion. Mulching increase rate of water evaporation from the soil. Mulching is primarily used to enhance pest infestation. Mulching reduce soil temperature, making it unsuitable for plant growth. Mulching is only beneficial for tropical climate. Can anybody tell me answer? Very good. Answer will be option A. Okay. Now students, for understanding this, we have to understand what is mulching. Mulching is basically whenever we try to cover the soil. Okay. We want to protect the soil, right? We don't want soil erosion to happen. So what we do, whenever we grow crop, along with the crop, the rest area should be covered. Okay. And it can be covered by some organic material like crop straw, or other kind of organic material that you have. It can be manure, organic manure, crop straw, crop dust, things like that. Or you can go for inorganic mulches also, which includes plastic. Okay, plastic sheets. You might have seen the black plastic sheets that covers the soil of farm. That is basically mulching done. Okay, so why mulching is done? Mulching is done first to protect the soil from erosion, right? Second, its purpose is to do or reduce soil and water conservation, because see, when we cover the soil surface, no soil erosion will happen. Also the water that is present in the soil will be conserved, right? So that is the objective. Next statement say mulching increase rate of water evaporation from the soil. So it is incorrect, because it reduces the rate of water evaporation from the soil. So basically it conserves soil water, right? Mulching is primarily used to enhance pest infestation. It is again incorrect. Rather, from mulching, pest infestation decreases, right? Mulching reduce soil temperatures is correct. Making it unfit for the plant growth is incorrect, because when the soil temperature reduce, in case where the temperature is very high, the mulching process help in reducing soil temperature and make it fit for the plant production, right? Then mulching is only beneficial for tropical climate. It is incorrect, because it can be done in any type of climate. Clear? So that is the mulching and its objective that I have told you. Now let's discuss about soil and water conservation technique. Okay. Now students, we know soil is very important. We have seen erosion happens and how erosion carry away all our fertile soil, right? So we need to take some measure. We need to take some steps in order to conserve the soil. Also, water is important, right? Because plant need water for growth and development. So we need to protect the water as well. So some kind of soil and water conservation techniques can be used by farmer, and that is what we are going to discuss. So these techniques or measures, they can be divided into agronomic measures and engineering measures. So what is the difference of agronomic and engineering measures? So basically students, whenever any kind of cultivation practices changed, or anything with regards to cultivation practices that you are doing normally, you do some kind of changes in that, and that change lead to soil and water conservation. That is your agronomic measures, right? आप नॉर्मल जो भी कल्टीवेशन प्रैक्टिस यूज कर रहे थे फॉर ग्रोइंग अ सर्टेन क्रॉप, अगर आप उसमें थोड़ा सा मॉडिफिकेशन कर दो, थोड़ा सा चेंजेस कर दो, ताकि आपकी जो सॉइल एंड वाटर कंजर्वेशन है वो हो पाए, that will be called as agronomic measures. On the other hand, engineering measures means basically to construct something. Okay, अगर आपको किसी चीज का construction करना पड़ रहा है, right? You need to build something, you need to form something for which you need labor, right? Then that will be called as engineering measures, right? So under agronomic measures, we have different agronomic practices that can be included, right? First is summer plowing. What is summer plowing? So students, during summers, your land is very dry, okay, and it can be very it can be it can be highly prone to water erosion and water loss. So what we do basically, during summers we do summer plowing. So what will happen through this summer plowing, whenever there is rain, that rain can be that rain gets stored in the soil, right? That rain gets stored in the soil. Also, due to the rough surface of the soil, it will not lead to erosion. So whenever there will be rain, that rain will not cause the erosion, rather it will get stored inside the soil. So that for that purpose, in the summer plowing is done. ठीक है, ये कुछ नहीं है, it is just a practice. In the summers, when your field is empty, you are not sowing anything, right? You just do the plowing activity. So with plowing activity, what will happen? Whenever there will be rain, there will be no water erosion, rather that rain will or rainwater will go deep inside the soil and it will get conserved. So that is how you do soil and water conservation through summer plowing. Then we have ridge and furrows. So see, normal practice is कि आपकी जो flat land है, you just start sowing seed on that flat land. But what if we form ridges and furrow in this land? What will happen? Ridges and furrows क्या होती है? Basically, you form some kind of ridges and furrows. So you plant your crop here, okay, and over the ridges, and these furrows are used to irrigate. Is used for the irrigation, right? So this is called ridges and furrow method. So with this, what is happening? You are making the land uneven so that there is no soil, there is less soil erosion and soil is less prone to the erosion. Also, you are using these furrows for irrigation. So you are not entirely irrigating entire field, rather you are directing water in certain ridges and furrows so that it can efficiently get reach to the plants, right? So basically ridges and furrows में आप ridges and furrows बनाते हो field में, you convert your land into ridges and furrow. Over the ridges you grow the crop. Furrows आप use करते हो for irrigation, for giving the water. तो उससे क्या होता है कि uneven land है तो water erosion नहीं होगा, and आपका जो ये furrows होती हैं, they will store the water for a longer duration of time. Water losses कम होते हैं as compared to the normal practice. So this is the another agronomic measure that can be done. Then contour farming can be done. Contour farming is done basically students in the hilly regions where we have high slope. Okay, जहाँ पे slope बहुत ज़्यादा है, वहाँ पे contour farming की जाती है, जहाँ पे जो hills हैं उनको contour line में divide किया जाता है, right? जो hill slope है that is divided into contour lines, and over these contour lines crops are grown. So that is called contour farming. Again, you have cut the slope, right? So what will happen whenever there will be rain? The rain will not directly wash all the soil, or it will not lead to soil erosion. Rather, that rain will get stored into these farms that you have cut, that you have made by cutting the contour lines. Okay? So that is the another method. Then we have plowing across the slope. So if you don't want to do contour farming, right? Like contour farming is when you are cutting the slope. This is the slope, right? So you have cut the slope. Now with this, what will happen? You will have one field, you will have this one field, next field, third field, right? You are making fields basically on the contour line. ठीक है, आपने contour line, आपने slope को cut करके you have made fields. You might have seen step farming, that is the contour farming. ठीक है, एक step जैसा आपने बना लिया, और over those steps you are growing the crop. But if you do not want to do that, so what you can do, the other practice that can be done is, this is the contour line, right? You can directly till the contour line. This is a slope and this is the contour line. You can just directly plow the contour line and grow crops over here, right? Like you might have seen in tea gardens. Tea gardens mein there is no field, there is no separate field on this mountain slope, right? Rather all the tree crops are growing right along the contour line. So where there basically this flowing across the slope is done, and then the crop production is done. So isse kya hota hai? Again, your land is not exposed to the wind erosion or direct whenever there is a rainfall, the plants that are growing on contour line will hold the kya kehte hain, it will hold the water as well as the soil, right? ठीक है, चलो, that is the another method. Then we have vegetative barriers. Vegetative barriers क्या होते हैं students? Basically vegetative barriers is that you are growing some kind of vegetation. ठीक है, if you feel like your land is prone to erosion or water erosion, or your there can be a chances of erosion, so what you do, you grow some kind of vegetation. So if this is your field, so you will grow some plants around your field. So what will happen, these plants root will hold the soil for you, right? They will not allow erosion to happen out of your field, right? So that is another method of doing this. Then intercropping can be done if there is any crop which is not able to hold the soil. Okay, it will permit the soil. So what you can do, you can grow some crops that have this ability to hold the soil, right? So intercropping is done so that intercropping is done so that different crops can help in holding the soil, right? That is again the other method. Crop rotation is another method where you are growing different crops. You are incorporating legumes. So legumes help in increasing the nitrogen, right, in the soil. It will help in increasing soil fertility. Also organic matter is added to the soil. It will increase soil structure, so more of water will be stored inside the soil and less water will be there for the erosion. Then strip cropping. Strip cropping is what? It is basically growing crops in different strips, right? So like strip intercropping that we have discussed, it is same. Strip cropping is same, that we are making different strips of different crops, right? Then in case of strip cropping, what is done? So here students, we are making strip of two crops. Like this is crop one, right? This is crop one, and then we have this is crop 2. Okay, so this is a strip of crop 2. So in case of strip cropping, what is done, we try to mix two crops. One is the erosion permitting crop, okay, and other is the erosion preventive crop. Okay, one is the permitting and another one is the preventing crop. So what we do, if there is any crop which help in, or which which leads to erosion, that can be mixed with the crop that prevent erosion. So these strips can be formed so that overall there is no erosion in your field, right? So that is called the strip cropping. Mulching is something that we have already discussed, right? Covering of soil, covering the soil with any kind of material. Then soil amendment application. Sometimes you can incorporate things like compost. Some additional amendments can be done in the soil so that the soil structure improve and it holds a lot of water for you, rather than just allowing that water to flow over the surface and doing the soil erosion. What you do, you basically improve the soil quality, and by improving the soil quality you are helping in storing more soil, sorry, not soil, more or more water in it, right? Then we have a chisel flowing. What is chisel flowing? Basically, sometimes there are hard pans formed in the uh, lower layer of the soil. We need to break these hard pans, because if these hard pans are there, it will not allow water to percolate down, right? Rather, all your water will be uh, okay. So I request, please, right now I am taking the class. I have to first complete this particular class. After that, I can take your query. Okay? So just be patient, whatever queries you have. I only take queries at the end, because everybody else is also there in the class. They are here for the class itself. So why waste their time? So right now I'll first complete the entire content that I have to give you, and at the end I'll take your queries. Okay, at the end, as many queries as you want to ask, please do that, but not right now. Okay, so okay, where was I was in the chisel plowing. Chisel plowing is what? Chisel plowing is a method of breaking hard soil without disturbing the upper layer. So there is a implement which is known as chisel plow. Okay, we, with the help of this chisel plow, what we do, we break the hard layer that is present inside the soil, because if that hard layer will be there, it will not allow water to go deep inside the soil. Rather, it will it will block the entry of water inside the soil. So most of the water will not be percolated down inside the soil, and rather it will lead to erosion, right? So chisel plowing is there another method. And then we have alternate land use planning. What is this? Basically, if any soil is not fit for cultivation, it is not fit for crop cultivation, it can be used in alternate ways. You can go for doing forestry there, any horticulture plantation, or growing any tree crops which can, which can stand on this soil and can hold the soil for you, right? So that is the underlying land use planning, basically using land in alternate ways for protecting the soil. Now let's see your engineering measures, right? So let's see one by one what are these engineering measures. I hope these are clear. If there's any doubt, please ask, right? Content से related कोई doubt है, you can ask, right? Whatever I am teaching here, if there is any doubt, you can ask in between the class, but rest doubt I take after the class only. Please take care of that thing and ask your doubt later on. Chalo. Then we have a first engineering measure, which is the broad bed furrow. What is this broad bed furrow? So basically, students, this is the advanced form of ridge and furrow method, right? So ridges and furrow mein what we were doing this, right? So only 1 to 2 plant can be grown over this ridge. What if we increase the width of this particular ridge? So that forms your broad bed furrow. So basically you are making broad bed, and these broad beds are not directly made from simple implements. Rather you will have to make them, right? You will have to construct these broad beds over the field. इसीलिए ये engineering measures के अंदर आता है. I've told you initially, engineering measures में क्या होता है कि आपके जहां पे भी कोई कंस्ट्रक्शन की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, they all comes under engineering measures, right? So here broad bed furrows are made, right? That is why it's called broad bed furrow method. Usually जो इसकी dimensions रहती है, that is 9 centimeter, 9 centimeter this broad bed dimension, and then distance between two broad bed is 45 centimeter. ठीक है, ये dimensions रहती है. Okay. Okay, so I can see a few questions. So terracing is also a type of contour farming. Terracing is basically when again you are cutting the slope, and terrace farming or step farming is same, right? Percentage for contour farming is 2 to 6%. ठीक है, अगर आपका slope 2 to 6% है, then you can go for the contour farming, right? Okay. Yes, Teja. So you have asked that agronomy deals with the field crops and management. Contour farming is basically a way of doing or way of growing these crops. Contour farming will come more under the farming system. It is a type of farming system. Okay. So I hope it's clear. Okay, Sandeep, why contour farming is not engineering measures? Okay, very good question. So see, sometimes when you need to see contour farming like this, what we have discussed here. Contour farming. Okay, so sometimes you don't always have to make these what we can say. You don't have to always cut the this slope. Sometimes there are natural contours that are there. Okay, and over those natural contours you are doing the farming. Then that's why it's the contour farming as an agronomic measure. But you are absolutely correct. When we need to construct these contours, or when we need to cut these contours and make these fields specifically, then that will come under your engineering measures. Okay, not completely under agronomic measures. So very good. So this can be a thing which can come under both agronomic and engineering measures. Sometimes you might have seen in the hilly regions there are some natural contours that are there. Okay, so over them agar you are doing the farming, that is your contour farming. But if, and mostly shayad I know that we have to make these contour lines, then that will come under the engineering measures, right? Okay, so I hope broad bed furrow is clear, right? Then we have another mechanical measure where we construct bunds, right? What are bunds? Bunds are basically the raised structure that you make to protect the soil or protect the field, right? So there are contour bunds that you can make, but in case of contour bunds again, if you're constructing the bunds, again it's here, right? When you are constructing the bunds, then it will come under your mechanical measure. What are these bunds? Basically, these are made to stop the flow of water, right? In the slopey area, if you are constructing a bund to stop the flow of water, then that is called contour bund, and it is done where rainfall is less than 600 mm and where soil is permeable and slope is less than 6%. Okay. Then we have another type of bund which are known as graded bund. In case of graded bund, what is done? Where the rainfall is very high. Okay, see, sometimes not always scarcity of water is not a problem. Sometimes there is excess of water. We need to drain this water safely out of the field. I have told you, because this water can lead to water erosion. Excess water can lead to water erosion. So whenever we need to take out this water safely out of the field, that is known as graded bund. Okay, and this is formed, or this is constructed in areas where there is a high rainfall, soil is impermeable and suitable for slope 2 to 10%, right? So this is your different type of bunding that are constructed. Then we have other measures like contour trenches. In contour trenches, you are digging the trench. You can see the trenches are digged, and whenever there is rainfall, these trenches will hold water for you, right? So you can see trenches are made in the contour lines. Then contour stone wall is also there, where you are constructing these contour walls. Okay, when you are naturally constructing these control walls with the help of stones, and again you are building this kind of structure, then that is called your contour stone wall. Okay, I hope all these things are clear, and now we can move to the next, which is compartmental bunding. Again, compartmental bunding is something that you make. Compartmental bunding is suitable for area where the slope is less than 1%, like in your plains area. Okay, till now we were discussing about the slopey area or the mountainous area. When your slope is less than 1%, right? In that case, also you need to store water. So for that, you will make compartments. You will divide your entire field into different compartments. That is known as compartmental bunding. So whenever there is rain, it will get stored in these compartments, right? Okay. Chalo, now this is the question for you. We have understood all the agronomic and engineering measures. Now solve this question. Which of the following pair of soil and water conservation measure is entirely categorized under engineering structure based measure? Okay. Anybody with the right answer? Please carefully read all the options and then give me the answer. Okay, your options are broadbed and furrow and strip cropping, contour bunding, chisel plowing, basin listing and random tide ridging, vegetative barriers and microcatchment, summer plowing and bench terracing. Right answer for this question will be option C. Okay? Option C. Yes, I can see most of you have given the right answer. So basically, students, basin listing and random tide ridging. Okay. It's asking regarding engineering structure based measure, right? Okay, so no, this will not be the right answer. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay. So students, out of the options that we have here, then the right answer according to that will be option C. Okay. Chalo, let me explain you how. Right. So I know there will be some confusion among you regarding all the other options. So let me tell you what are these and how your option C is the answer, right? So we have understood broadbed furrow as a engineering measure, right? But strip cropping was agronomic measure. That's why option 1 is incorrect. Chisel plowing, again agronomic measure. That's why it cannot be part of the answer. Then vegetative barrier, summer plowing. These are your agronomic measures that we have discussed. Now here we have two options, basin listing and random tide ridging. What is this? Basin listing is what it is again making or forming basin. Okay, so right, we have understood the contour trenches, right? This contour trenches. ऐसे ही, this contour trenches are basically made in the mountainous region, but in the plains area, whenever these trenches are made to store the water, that is called basin listing. ठीक है, basin listing, contour trenching same type है, contour trenching बस hilly areas में की जाती है. ठीक है. Then random tide ridging. What is this, student? This is also important for your exam because I think in 2024 में आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था regarding tide ridging. Okay, so what is this random tide ridging? When we have this ridge and furrow method, ठीक है, ये ridge and furrow method में क्या होता है, हमने ये furrows बनाई हैं, right? अब इन furrows में क्या करते हैं हम, randomly we form some blockage. ठीक है, हम इनको randomly किन्हीं किन्हीं जगह पे we form some kind of blockage here. Means you block these ridges basically so that water can get stored here for long duration of time. ठीक है, if this is done and you are dependent on rainfall for the water, so randomly if you are tying these ridges, that is called random tie ridges, right? So hence answer here will be option C. ठीक है. Okay, any confusion? Still if there is any confusion, please let me know. ठीक है, I have explained you everything, but अगर फिर भी कोई confusion है, इसमें confusion है random tide ridging क्या है, let me know. ठीक है, चलो. Next question, in broadbed furrow engineering system of soil and water conservation, what is the typical standard width of the broadbed and furrow respectively? Okay, I have given you the answer when we were talking about this broadbed ridges furrow method. Now please let me know the answer. Okay. Anybody with the right answer here? See, if there is any difficulty understanding anything, please let me know. ठीक है, आप बताओगे नहीं तो मुझे पता नहीं चलेगा confusion कहाँ हो रही है. Okay, very good. Aditya, very good. Aman. अमन, निखिल, ठीक है. विड्थ ऑफ ब्रॉड बेड्स, देखो बेड्स की आपको विड्थ बतानी है एंड फिर फरो की बतानी है. ठीक है, तो प्लीज सी ऑल द ऑप्शंस केयरफुली. आई हैव टोल्ड यू कि जो ये बेड होती है इसकी विड्थ कितनी होती है, फरो की विड्थ कितनी होती है. देन दिस इज द सिस्टम, राइट? ओके, very good. Answer is option C. ठीक है, now you have given the correct answer. So it is basically 90 centimeter and it is 45 centimeter. Clear? So that is how broadbed furrow, that is the dimension of broadbed furrow method that we have. ठीक है? I hope there is no confusion with this. चलो, let's move ahead. Which of the following agronomic soil conservation practice is specifically defined as deep tillage without inverting or turning the soil profile, aimed primarily at shattering dense subsoil, hard pan, and enhancing root penetration? Okay. ठीक है. Okay, Vasu, after this question, I'll explain random tide ridges again. ठीक है. See, if you are asking regarding that particular figure here, ठीक है, this 30 centimeter is the distance between two plant. Okay, it is the distance between two plant. See, 30 centimeter, 30 centimeter, 30 centimeter. Okay, I think it's clear now. Okay. ठीक है, what will be the answer here? Very good. Answer will be option C, chisel plow, right? So I have told you that in chisel plowing is a process where we are breaking the hard soil without inverting the upper layer of the soil. Okay, so chisel plow is used for doing chisel plowing. ठीक है, and we are breaking this soil so that root penetration can increase and also water infiltration can be improved, right? चलो, that's great. So once again, let's understand the random tide ridges. Okay, so what is this? So here understand, see we have this ridges and furrow. ठीक है, हमारे पास ये ridges and furrow है. तो रिजेस में आप क्रॉप को ग्रो करते हैं एंड फरो में यू अलाउ वाटर टू फ्लो, राइट? नाउ इफ दिस इज योर फरो, लाइक take this diagram, like I'm just now showing you the diagram of furrows. If these are your furrows, right? In random tide ridging, what is done? You randomly close these furrows. You randomly basically put soil to block these furrows. ठीक है, बेसिकली आप यहाँ पे you create some kind of blockage. Okay, so आप क्या करते हो, फरो को ही आप जगह जगह में जैसे बंड्स बनाते हैं, आप फरो को क्लोज कर देते हो. ठीक है, सो क्यों ऐसा किया जाता है? सो दैट वाटर कैन रिटेन हेयर फॉर लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन ऑफ टाइम. सो इफ देयर इज एनी रेनफॉल, दिस फरो कैन रिटेन वाटर फॉर लॉन्ग ड्यूरेशन ऑफ टाइम, राइट? दिस इज योर रैंडम टाइड रिजिंग. ओके, दिस इज योर रैंडम टाइड रिजिंग. क्लियर वासु? आई होप इट्स क्लियर. इफ देयर इज एनी कंफ्यूजन लेट मी नो. ठीक है, देखो अगर ये पिक्चर समझ नहीं आ रही ना, जस्ट वंस गूगल इट. ठीक है, आप एक बार गूगल कर लो, आपको पिक्चर देख के सब समझ आ जाएगा. ठीक है, शायद मैं यहाँ पे पिक्चर से समझा नहीं पा रही हूँ ढंग से, बट अगर आप इसको थोड़ा समझिए कि फरोज को बस बीच बीच से आपने बंद कर दिया है. ओके, अगेन सी आई हैवंट ब्रॉट एनी पिक्चर फॉर दिस, बट प्लीज यू कैन जस्ट गूगल इट वंस, आपको समझ आ जाएगा. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग एग्रोनॉमिक सॉइल कंजर्वेशन प्रैक्टिस is specifically defined as deep tillage? Okay, I think we have covered this, right? It is chisel plowing, right? We have already covered this question, right? Next question. Which soil conservation practice is categorized as an agronomic measure rather than engineering measure? Okay, so you have bench terracing, bench listing, compartmental bunding, vegetative barriers, check dams. Okay, read all the options and then give me कि कौन सा इनमें से is agronomic measures, not the engineering measures. Very good. Answer will be option D, vegetative barriers. Because we have learned that vegetative barriers, that is growing some kind of vegetation to stop soil and water erosion, that is known as vegetative barriers, and it is a kind of agronomic measure, right? Chalo, very good. ठीक है, I think this is also clear. Now coming to the, okay, so now again 2 questions for you. Okay, we have come to the end of this particular class. The question is, which agronomic conservation practice involves alternating strip of erosion susceptible clean tilled crop with dense strip of erosion resistant grasses or legumes? ठीक है, आपको बताना है regarding in which practice we are growing erosion permitting and erosion preventing crop. I have told you already. Please read all option and give me the answer. Then next question for you is, what is the primary function of constructing small transverse check dams across natural waterways and drainage system? ठीक है, now please read this question. Okay, read about it and let me know the answer in the question. ठीक है, चलो. Okay, with this we have come to the end of the session now. Now if anybody has any doubt regarding anything, please now you can ask me. Now I am giving you full chance to ask, write your doubt, ask your queries. Okay, so yes, now please type your answer, not answer, your queries, and let me know your doubts and we can discuss on that. But before that, I would like to again tell you about our 2-day demo course. So if you're interested in purchasing our main course and you wanted to buy it, you wanted to know what actually we provide, for that you can refer to this 2-day demo course, and after this you can decide whether you want to purchase our main course or not. Yes, Ravi Kumar Kushwa. Okay, hello ma'am. फर्स्ट ईयर बीएससी एग्रीकल्चर से नबार्ड ग्रेड ए की प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं क्या? डेफिनेटली रवि कुमार. सी इफ यू वांट टू प्रिपेयर फॉर नबार्ड ग्रेड ए एग्जामिनेशन एंड आप अभी कॉलेज के फर्स्ट ईयर में हो, तो आपका गोल क्लियर है, एंड आई वुड सजेस्ट यू कि आप बिल्कुल प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट कीजिए अपने नबार्ड ग्रेड एग्जाम की. आप समझिए कि आपको NABARD ग्रेड एग्जामिनेशन के लिए कौन कौन से सब्जेक्ट कवर करने हैं, राइट? सो यू हैव ESI स्टैटिक, तो आप एग्रीकल्चर बैकग्राउंड से ESI स्टैटिक आपने नहीं पढ़ी होगी, तो आप ESI स्टैटिक को कवर कीजिए, राइट? क्वांट रीजनिंग इंग्लिश को स्ट्रॉन्ग कीजिए, बिकॉज क्वांट रीजनिंग इंग्लिश आप NABARD में ही नहीं, और भी एग्जाम जैसे कि IBPS, AFO, FCI, IFCO, बहुत सारे एग्जामिनेशन में क्वांट रीजनिंग इंग्लिश तो आती है। तो आप अभी क्या फोकस करेंगे, आप एटलीस्ट थर्ड ईयर तक क्वांट इंग्लिश रीजनिंग, कंप्यूटर नॉलेज, डिसीजन मेकिंग, ESI स्टैटिक और डिस्क्रिप्टिव आंसर राइटिंग आप अच्छे से कवर कीजिए, राइट? जब आप एक्चुअल में प्रिपरेशन करेंगे या फाइनल ईयर में जाएंगे, देन यू विल स्टार्ट रीडिंग करंट अफेयर, राइट? तो अभी से टेक योर गोल कि आफ्टर 4 ईयर यू हैव टू क्लियर NABARD ग्रेड एग्जाम, और उसके लिए आपको क्या क्या प्रिपरेशन की जरूरत है। अगर फर्स्ट ईयर में देखो अभी नहीं स्टार्ट करना है, दैट इज ऑल्सो फाइन। आप अगर थर्ड ईयर से भी स्टार्ट करते हो, देन ऑल्सो इट इज डूएबल, ठीक है? बट अगर आप अभी से ही चाहते हो, देन आई सजेस्ट यू टू स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग क्वांट रीजनिंग इंग्लिश, थिंग्स लाइक ESI descriptive, ARD descriptive, English descriptive, right? Learn how to write essay, how to type essay and things like that. तो आप definitely इसकी preparation कर सकते हैं। हाँ ठीक है, रवि कुशवाहा कोई नहीं, अगर आप प्राइवेट कॉलेज से भी हो दैट्स नो इशू, ठीक है? आपके पास टाइम है, एंड देखो प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस में ज़्यादा ही थोड़ा टाइम मिलता है प्रिपरेशन के लिए, तो आपके पास एडवांटेज है, आप डेफिनेटली प्रिपरेशन कर सकते हो। फर्स्ट ईयर से अगर आप स्टार्ट कर दोगे, आपके पास बहुत टाइम है, बहुत। आप इस एग्जाम की 3-4 बार प्रिपरेशन कर सकते हो अभी से लेके आप जब तक एलिजिबल होगे तब तक, ठीक है? तो definitely go ahead with that, and I encourage you to do that, because for agriculture graduate I think NABARD grade A is one of the most important, or not important, best opportunity I would say. Okay, next question was what is vertical mulching, ma'am? Okay Sandeep, very good question. Vertical mulching क्या होती है? देखो students, in your coffee garden or tea garden, ठीक है, sometimes जब आपकी slopy land होती है, और I would say not the slopy land exactly, बट हाँ आपकी हेवी सॉइल होगी, ठीक है? व्हेन यू हैव हेवी सॉइल, जैसे कि ब्लैक सॉइल होती है, जब आपकी हेवी सॉइल्स होती हैं, इन दैट केस ये जो सॉइल्स होती हैं दे आर वेरी डेंस, राइट? ये काफी वाटर को रिटेन करके रखती है। तो यहाँ पे जो वाटर है, व्हाट वी कैन से, क्ले ज्यादा होता है इन सॉइल में, राइट? इस सॉइल में क्ले ज्यादा होता है, तो यहाँ पे वाटर स्टैग्नेशन की प्रॉब्लम होती है। वी कैन से जब भी रेनफॉल होगा वाटर स्टैग्नेशन की प्रॉब्लम होगी। तो मैंने बताया था कि हमें ड्रेनेज करना पड़ता है, फॉर दैट वी हैव टू मेक ग्रेडेड बंड्स, राइट? एक और तरीका है विच इज ऑफ वर्टिकल मल्चिंग, जिसमें हम क्या करते हैं, वी मेक वर्टिकल होल्स, और यू कैन से वी डिग वर्टिकल होल्स इन दीज सॉइल्स, ठीक है? और यहाँ पे हम कोई भी ऑर्गेनिक मैटर को डिपॉजिट कर देते हैं, ठीक है? वी आर making these vertical trenches and we are depositing organic matter here. अब इससे क्या होगा, ये जो organic matter हमने इसमें deposit किया है, this will decompose, this organic matter will start decomposing, right? With decomposition क्या होता है कि whenever you add organic matter to the soil, it increase the pore space, ठीक है? It increase the pore space, ठीक है? तो जब pore space बढ़ेगा तो क्या होगा, इसमें जो water stagnation की problem है वो कम होगी, ठीक है? क्योंकि वाटर स्टैग्नेशन जब होता है, जब बहुत ज्यादा बारिश होती है, वो भी काफी सारा आपका सॉइल इरोजन कॉज करता है। तो अगर आपने पोर स्पेस बढ़ाना है क्ले सॉइल में, हेवी सॉइल में, उसके लिए यू कैन डू दिस वर्टिकल मल्चिंग। क्लियर संदीप? आई होप इट्स क्लियर। Sachin, if slope is more than 30%, which practice is followed? Okay, see, all the practices that we have studied here, and then there is a bench terracing that can be done. Bench terracing वही होती है जो आपकी stairs farming होती है या terrace farming होती है, वो practice follow की जा सकती है। Okay, आदित्य मैम, नोटिफिकेशन कब आएगा? एनी आइडिया? आदित्य सी अगेन नो आइडिया रिगार्डिंग नोटिफिकेशन। सितंबर में एक्सपेक्टेड है, आप एक्सपेक्ट करके चलिए कि सितंबर में आ जाएगा, अक्टूबर में आपका फेज 1 होगा, तो इतना ही टाइम आपके पास है, ठीक है? ओके मैम, ESI videos are there. So see, for ESI videos, I think there are few videos on our YouTube channel, but we are not, covering these ESI static component on our YouTube channel because we feel they are not important for your exam. But if you are from agriculture background, then you should cover your ESI, and for that you can either watch our previous videos of ESI, or what you can do, यू कैन वॉच आर मैराथन सेशन, या फिर आपका कोई और यूट्यूब प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ पे ESI की अगर वीडियोज है वहां से भी आप कवर कर सकते हो, ठीक है। ओके, ठीक है। एनीथिंग एल्स एनीबडी वांट टू आस्क? You're welcome Ravi, you're welcome Sandeep. ठीक है, so this is my last live class. Tomorrow you'll get the recorded version of water resources and irrigation management class. Okay. Yes, Sachin. From May onward, it is more than sufficient. Ma'am, I have a question in post harvest management. A lot of processing is done on the product, so does it affect the product? Definitely, voice of Sora. See, but that processing is important. So see, there are things like if I have to give you one example, जैसे कि you might have heard कि जो एप्पल है उसकी क्वालिटी को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए देयर इज अ वैक्सिंग डन, ठीक है। तो यूजुअली इट इज प्रेफर्ड कि इसमें ईडेबल वैक्सिंग की जाए, बट देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ अडल्ट्रेशन दैट हैपेंस, राइट। इथाइलिन सॉरी दिस this wax that is used to protect the quality of apple. Sometimes people are not following that standard rules that should be followed in order to take care of human health as well. See, this all these processing that we do for post harvesting or after post harvesting is to preserve the quality of food. Okay, it will not have any impact on the fruit or the product, but it does have some impact on humans. So it's always recommended that we have to wash our fruits properly, we have to cut the outer layer, then eat it, right? So things like that are there. Okay, you're welcome Aditya, and thank you so much. I'm glad to know that these videos are helpful for you. Okay. Yes, they do not. We see post harvest management is done to improve the quality of product, not to deteriorate the quality of product. They ultimately do not have any impact on the product itself. But yes, when this product reach the consumer, yes, definitely we are consuming that processed fruit or product. So yeah, that can be some issue. Okay, you're welcome Sachin. ठीक है, anything else? Thank you so much Sandeep. ठीक है. Now I feel there is no query left, right? Chalo. So it was nice interacting with you all guys, right? I really enjoyed these classes with you all, and I can see few names always popping in each class. So yes, I feel like that is the kind of connection a teacher want. You guys please interact, tell your queries, ask your doubts, right? So yes, I was glad. It was nice interacting with you all guys, and I really enjoyed these classes. From 28th onward, you will get live classes by Diksha ma'am, and I request you all to please continue your preparation. Be focused, make your good strategy. Just follow that strategy and stick to it, right? Be consistent, but don't break your consistency. ठीक है, चाहे किसी दिन 1 घंटा ही पढ़ो, बट प्लीज उसको कवर करो, राइट? प्लीज आप कुछ ना कुछ डेली पढ़ो, राइट? क्योंकि एग्जामिनेशन ईजी नहीं है, कंपटीशन बहुत ज़्यादा है. सो यू हैव टू थिंक दैट वाइज, ठीक है, कि कंपटीशन में आपने बैठना है, आपको उस कंपटीशन को फाइट करना है, तो उसके लिए बहुत एफर्ट लगते हैं. ट्रस्ट मी, फ्रॉम माई पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस आई एम सेइंग दैट काफ़ी एफर्ट और काफ़ी मेहनत की ज़रूरत होती है. समटाइम्स आप बहुत मेहनत करते हो, फिर भी बहुत छोटी मोटी चीज़ें हो जाती है कि सिलेक्शन ना हो पाए, बट आई वॉन्ट कि आप अपनी तरफ से कोई भी कमी ना रखो, ठीक है, सो दैट आपको लास्ट में वो गिल्ट ना हो कि आई शुड हैव डन दिस इन दिस वे एंड दैट इन दैट वे. तो ये सारी चीज़ें चलती रहती है फिर, राइट? सो दैट इज वॉट आई वॉन्टेड टू कन्वे ऑल ऑफ यू. प्लीज बी फोकस्ड रहो एंड कंटिन्यू प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर वट एवर गोल यू हैव इन योर माइंड, राइट? सो फॉर दैट yes, so yes, I think I don't have any queries left, and thank you so much everybody. It was nice interacting with you, and I wish you all the best. That's all. Okay. If any doubt in ARD in future, how to connect with you, ma'am, especially for descriptive writing and mains. See, we do have these channels on EduTap. Okay, coming to that. So you can just mail us at hello@edutap.co.in. Okay. at this you can mail that you want to have a call with me or any faculty you want. If you have any doubt, we'll definitely connect with you, and we can answer your, and we can listen to your doubts basically. Okay, we can discuss on that. So this you can do, you can mail us or you can call us. There are these contact details that you can use, right? So either way you can contact, and our support team will connect you to with us. Okay, chalo, that's all. I hope enough of motivation, and you take care everyone, and thank you so much. So now I'll end the session. ठीक है, चलो.